Hi everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel, another weekly analysis video for you guys. But firstly, thank you so much guys for supporting me on my channel. The amount of support that you guys have shown is unreal. 8 videos on the channel, over 1,000 views, over 100 subscribers, and honestly, it's really motivated me to just up my content and do better and better and give out so much more information to you guys and make these videos so informative, so educational that you don't need to worry about trading anymore. You don't need to worry about making money in the markets. So, yeah. Thank you so much. I've got another couple of videos lined up. I'm going to have another playlist on my channel, which I'm going to put up in the next day or two, called Random Recaps. So any day of the week, just randomly, I'm going to post a video of my win or my losses or even a trade that I missed and the lessons I learned. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed because the content is just going to get better and better and you do not want to miss out. So yeah, let's get straight into the analysis. I'm going to share with you the pairs that I'm watching for the week ahead. The first one being GBP USD. Someone asked me about this trade a couple of days ago on my Instagram. So it'll be very interesting right now to go over it with you guys. So first of all, let's start off with the DXY. I explained very in detail in my last video why I am overall bearish on the dollar. Like long term, I'm seeing price literally come and take these lows. So yeah, for the remainder of the year, it does seem like we could potentially, melt on the dollar. But obviously, the market can do absolutely anything. This is just technicals. Technically, it looks like we're going to be melting down, but we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, so GBP USD. What am I seeing? On the monthly time frame, and this is why higher time frames are so key. You cannot just trade the daily and the 4 hour because that's not going to get you anywhere. You'll understand why now. So on the monthly time frame, you can see we had this low over here. Okay, we then had a sweep of that low, and then price came down. We kind of filled that wick in, and then as soon as we broke that low, price started pushing up. Okay, and since then we've just been putting higher highs and higher lows, which structure is way more clearer on the lower time frames like the weekly and the daily. Now, technically, we put in a new low, okay, and price now is coming up into premium levels. Okay, let me just draw my tool out. There we are. Now, what I was thinking is we could possibly see some rejections of this imbalance on the monthly time frame, which we did. Okay, so we were in premium, we had this imbalance over here, a bit of an inducement right over here. We swept it, price started coming down very nicely, and then we came back up, and we just wicked. We left some wicks over here. Price then came down into this imbalance, and since then we've just been going higher. So I'm here thinking, okay, so this imbalance is not holding. Cool. And now we'll look at the weekly time frame and we'll try, make a story out of this, see what's happening. So bear in mind we've got the monthly imbalance. Let me just draw that out actually, and we'll color it into a different color so it's nice and clear for you guys to see. Let's just do that blue. Okay. Now on the weekly time frame, what have we got? We've got higher low, higher high, higher low. So we were expecting price, once we reached this area, we were expecting price to come higher and take out the highs. Okay, and that's what we've done. But what's happening on the monthly time frame, like I said, it seems like we're rejecting the level, we're rejecting literally the imbalance, and we are continuing higher. But what happened last week? Let's have a look at that. On the weekly time frame, you can see we put in a high, we've then come down, put in a higher low, we've then gone up, put in a higher high, we've then come down, higher low, and now we've gone up, higher high. Where can price potentially come back to? Okay, cool. We've got an imbalance, a weekly imbalance. Now, last week we rejected from this area. This week we've rejected from the area again with a huge wick. Okay, so we've had a resistance. Sorry, we had a resistance here. Yeah, the previous resistance now is acting as a support in the imbalance on the weekly time frame, and we are trading above the monthly imbalance which we rejected from. I hope that makes sense, guys. So if I'm going down on a lower time frame now on the daily, I'm just watching this area. I've got this as a weekly imbalance marked out, and I'm starting to think, okay, we've had a huge bullish reaction out of this. I know so many people, including myself, last week I was actually looking for some sort of bearish, continuation into discount levels. Okay, so traders out there, even like myself, sometimes all I do is I draw the tool. So we've got discount and we've got premium. We look for sells within the premium, of course we do. However, when the higher time frames are showing you a complete different story, you can't ignore them, because in the end all you're going to do is you're going to end up taking losses. Okay, so 4 hour time frame, you could see, sorry, I'm just going to remove, my bad, supposed to remove this. You could clearly see that we started trending bearish. So we had this move, we've taken out liquidity. I was actually expecting price to come higher into this level where we are now and take shorts. However, when I've gone onto the higher time frames, I'm starting to think, could we possibly start continuing higher from here? Because we've swept liquidity from this level. As you can see, we've had liquidity sweep, and the move up is pretty impulsive, leaving imbalances. So am I interested in shorting the pair? Absolutely not, because it's not a high quality, A plus setup for me. So I'm not interested. The price, remember, price can do whatever the hell it wants to do. Next week's candle, we can potentially break down. Do you understand? However, I'm not interested in shorts until we take out these lows. So if I see something like this at the start of the week, it takes this low out impulsively, and then we have some sort of a structure forming on the on the 4 hour time frame or even on the daily, only then I will be interested. Otherwise, I'm not interested in shorting this pair, especially with the dollar as well. The dollar seems like it's going to melt. But I'm not sure about the dollar either, because last week, honestly, we've just been ranging. Are we going to continue coming down on the dollar, or are we going to come up into these levels that I have marked out, which I explained in detail in my last YouTube video? So you can go and have a look at that if you want to see DXY's analysis. Could price potentially come up, take out this buy side, and then start melting, or is price going to continue to melt without giving us a pullback? Who knows? So yeah, let's do Aussie dollar as well now. So we've got the weekly time frame as well. So we can see weekly sell side, we swept it. Buy side is up there. Okay, price came down super impulsively over here. We swept sell side liquidity, and since then price has been pretty impulsive to the upside. Okay, we also left an imbalance on the weekly time frame, and last week we've closed as a bit of a spinning top, which means indecision in the market. Now on the daily time frame, you can see it's this level again that we're rejecting from, which I'm not liking. I'm not liking the fact that we are failing to break below this. Do you know what I mean? If we failed below this, or if we broke below this and then we had a retracement, I'd have been interested. Now if you just go onto the 4 hour, this is why I don't really even trust the 4 hour anymore. I'm more of a monthly, weekly, daily trader. I don't focus too much on the 4 hour, simply because it could be a trap. If you're ignoring higher time frames, you could easily get trapped in this price action, because on the 4 hour, it's literally looking bearish right now. Okay. And yeah, it's not as easy as just getting your fib out and drawing your fib tool and then putting your fib there and making money. No, that's why majority of the people who just rely on structure take a lot of losses, and the ones who are relying more on the higher time frames, they are quite frankly profitable. They are really profitable traders, and they don't take much losses because they can differentiate between A plus setups and low quality setups, because they focus way more on the higher time frames. So again, if you're looking at this Aussie dollar trade, you can see we had an imbalance on the weekly time frame right over here, and that exact same level we're kind of rejecting off this imbalance over here as well. So on the 4 hour, until I don't see some sort of a bullish structure forming, I'm not really interested. Okay, if we start melting to the downside, I'll be interested in shorts. Okay, but am I rushing and am I dying to take this short? Absolutely not. Okay, because market could continue higher. Remember, on the higher time frames, on GU and AU and all these dollar pairs, we have buy side liquidity, because we've taken on AU especially, we've taken sell side. Buy side is up there, so we know if price starts making if price starts breaking structure on lower time frames, and by lower I mean no less than 4 hour. And no, I do not care about the 1 hour either. I'm not a 1 hour trader. 1 hour for me completely sucks. You could get liquidated on 1 hour time frames. It's honestly a trap. 1 hour is a scam. So on the 4 hour, if I see something, structure forming, then I'll be more than happy to enter this pair, enter the position for longs. Next pair I'm looking at is US Swissy. And before anybody says, why have you got a fib tool on? You'll understand. if you sign up to my mentorship, you'll know when I use this fib tool. Or I only use it if it aligns with my weekly, monthly bias, and I've got sell side or buy side liquidity to target, and yeah, basically that. So even with USVC on the weekly time frame, I explained it in the last couple of videos. It's very, very simple. We've put in a new structure low, we failed to put in a new high. This is a week low. I'm still waiting for price to come into this area and sort of, liquidate the area. So we've got a weekly order block. We've also got an imbalance. We've got a daily time frame. Very nice. We've had a bit of a liquidity sweep right over here. We've had a break of structure. We've taken out sell side over here. We've taken out buy side over there. Is price gonna start melting and take this out? Who knows? Because we don't know what the dollar's gonna do. And this lines up so nicely with the dollar, because even with the dollar, I'm thinking price could potentially come slightly higher into this area, or maybe even into this area, to then go down. And the same with US Swissy. I'm wanting price to, make its way to this area over here and potentially give us some nice shorts targeting the lows. And next one, I've got USD CAD on the monthly time frame. This looks so nice to me. You can see every time we have come into this level, every time we've come into this level, we rejected. So we came into this level over here, huge shooting star. We've come into this level, bearish engulfer, and then we've come again into this area. That's a huge shooting star / bearish engulfer. It's just continuously showing us rejections, okay? So what am I predicting? Well, I'm favoring dollar shorts long term on this pair. Like if I'm talking a couple of months, I am looking for this pair to literally come and take out these lows over here, okay? Now, even on the weekly time frame, it's a lot more clearer. You could see again, we're rejecting the highs. Over here again, we failed. You can see over here, which is it's so cool, because we came into this area over here, right? We've then gone up. We came down. We failed to put in a new low. So this was a higher low, okay? Price then went all the way back up, and we failed to get a body close above, which means this is a weak low now, okay? So any sort of retracement into maybe this imbalance, or maybe even that imbalance, however you trade, my entries only my students know, okay? Sorry about that, but if you're interested in my mentorship, message me on Instagram. Listen, guys, I am giving you 50% of your money back if you don't benefit from what I am teaching you in 12 months. So you are in my mentorship for 12 months. You've not benefited from my teachings. You've not made any profits. You've not learned anything. You think it's absolute, it's not a good mentorship. You're not interested. You're not happy anymore. You think it's absolute crap. Then guess what? I'm more than happy to give you a 50% of your money back, okay? So, and you are not going to find this anywhere. I am the first one in the trading space coming out with this offer. This is how confident I am in my teachings and in my mentorship. So if you're interested, just drop me a message on my Instagram. I'll leave it in the description below, Swing Success Trading, and I'll see you there. So yeah, you could enter whatever you want. You could target the weekly time frame. You can see we've got a bit of an imbalance over here. So if I see something like that, I'll just move this up like this. And yeah, a long term, I do see this. I do see all these lows getting swept, all of that. Next pair that I am watching is Aussie NZD. To keep it very, very simple, we took out sell side liquidity right over here. I'll draw that out. Sell side liquidity right over here. And then what we've done is we've gone up, taken out this. We've then come down, put in a low. We've then gone up, broken structure, okay? And now we have sort of retraced back into an order block or into an imbalance in discount prices, okay? So on the higher time frame, we've got discount and we've got premium. Price has made its way into a discount level, and that's where we like to buy from, especially on the higher time frames. That's, to be honest, now I don't even focus too much on the lower time frames, on the 4 hour, 8 hour. I don't really focus on premium and discount, because just look back at the example that I've given you on GU. We are still in premium prices. However, the higher time frames, monthly and weekly, they're showing me a different story. They're telling me a different story. So I have to go with what the daily time frame is showing me. So looking at this, on the weekly time frame, you can see we've got an order block followed by an imbalance. Price came, tapped it in, well, kind of tapped it in. So that for me was just an inducement. It got all the buyers into the market just for price to dump even further and, you know, take the early buyers out. So that's basically an inducement right there. I was short on this pair from somewhere up here, and then I took my profits down here somewhere. I've got the this screenshot of it on my Instagram. So yeah, you can have a look at that if you want. What have we got? We've come into this area. We've had a shooting star. Okay, let me just tell you guys, if anyone tells you candlesticks aren't important, they are lying to you. If there's a mentor out there, your mentor is not telling you candlesticks, not even telling you to study them, then I'm sorry, but you know what? You need to go and study your candles, especially the basic ones you should know. So we are now in an area of interest. We're in deep discount prices. Okay, it looks like we've put in a higher low. We've had a shooting star from our area of interest, which means a reversal. Okay, followed by engulfing candle, which means, you know, buyers have stepped into the market. So how am I going to enter this? That's for my students to know again. However, I can give you a clue. Any sort of structure shift on the 4-hour time frame, or maybe you could just literally wait for Sunday market to open and enter right over here to target the highs. You could do basically what you would want to do. It's, you know, it's entirely up to you how you would like to enter. The next pair I'm looking at, and I explained this one in my YouTube video last week. You could go back onto it. It's Aussie JPY. Any sort of retracement to the upside, I am interested in this. I've also got NZD JPY. I prefer this one over Aussie JPY because I'm already in an Aussie trade. But yeah, very clearly on here, you know, we've got, let's have a look. We had a weekly imbalance. Okay, we then tapped into it the week before last week. Okay, this week we have continued to melt, and as you can see, we have left an imbalance right over here. We've left an imbalance. Now you could enter off the 50% of the imbalance, or you could enter off this order block, or you could enter right at the end of the imbalance. It's entirely up to you. But this pair, JPY pairs, were explained in detail in my last video, so go and have a look. I'm still interested in them. Any sort of pullback, I'll be, you know, more than happy to execute the position. Some of you might be thinking, why don't I think price is going to come higher, maybe deeper into the order block, maybe to the 50% of the order block? The answer is quite simple, and that is because if we wanted to, we would have done it the last week, because now we've had this liquidity sweep. Okay, we've swept liquidity into the imbalance. Price has already liquidated it, so there's no need for price to go up again and liquidate it even more. Does that make sense? If price does start reversing to the upside from here, and I'd honestly think we are now going higher, and I won't be looking for sells anymore. So yeah, sells on NZD JPY, sells on Euro JPY, and also sells on Aussie JPY, which I've explained in last week's video. And I think that's about it. Let's have a look. Euro JPY. I'm not sure if I went through this in last week's video, but I will go through it again for you guys. It's actually pretty straightforward. Literally, it's like Aussie JPY and the other JPY pairs, but I don't think I went through this one, so I'll do it now. Weekly time frame, you can see we had an imbalance. Okay, so what's happened? Price came down. Okay, technically we were bullish. Okay, technically we are bullish until we haven't taken out this low. So we've got a low here which swept liquidity. We then went up, put in a new high. We then came down and we rejected. Okay, now the fact that we rejected from here and we couldn't really continue with the bullish momentum, and we're rejecting off this weekly imbalance, indicates to me that price doesn't want to go any higher. Price is now reversing. Okay, so we've had rejection, and then the week before last week, where we had a huge bearish shooting star, an engulfing candle, literally engulfing quite a few candles. So now what am I looking for? We've got a bit of an imbalance in between these two candles, and you could enter however you want. You can enter off the 50% of this imbalance, or you could enter, you know, maybe on the lower time frame, find something and enter. I don't know, it's entirely up to you. However, my bias on this is short, as well as other JPY pairs. And yeah, that's about it in this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was, you know, quite educational for you. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing, bro? Please subscribe and follow me on my Instagram. It's in the description below. And I will see you again next week sometime for my random recap video and also for another weekly analysis video. I hope you guys capitalize on some of these positions, make some money, and have a good week. Until then, goodbye.